Building a new home is really exciting, but there are a few things that you need to know before you dive in so you know exactly what to expect from the builder from start to finish. If we haven't met yet, my name is Heidi Knowlton and I'm a local real estate agent here in the Salt Lake Valley. So the first thing that you should know when it comes to building a home is that all the information is not on the MLS or on Zillow. Usually you need to reach out to your real estate agent to have them dive in a little bit deeper. So it's good to have an inside connection with either real estate agent and find out exactly what their inventory is, because it's never listed all on the MLS. They also don't list all of their incentives, all of their requirements. Stuff like that is something that you want to get directly from the builder. Call me and I'll get all the information for you. This is especially important when you're trying to decide on which builder to go to. You want to do your research here, or at least have your real estate agent do all the work for you. It's part of their job, so that's a benefit of having your own real estate agent when it comes to building a house. So get a hold of your realtor and say, I'm considering buying a house. I want to be in this area. Please call the builders that are in that area and get all the information for me, because all their information is not usually on the web anywhere. Their specials change from day to day. Their requirements change from day to day. Their inventory is always changing. So it's really important that you get a hold of a builder and get all this information up front, because it's just not publicly known and it's not listed anywhere on the MLS or on the web. They're going to show you maybe one or two houses and that's about it. And if you walk into their office or give them a call, they're going to have maybe 20 other houses available. They've got new phases coming up. They've got different lots coming available. So there's so much more information to learn. So get with your real estate agent and set up a meeting with the builder and go in and sit down with them, and you'll get all the information and take notes on everything so you have all the data collected so you can make a really good decision about which builder to go with. Another thing you want to ask a builder is, what incentives do they have? This is always changing. When they have a lot of inventory that's not selling, then they've got more incentives. If they don't have very much availability, they're going to have zero incentives. So during the crazy high market of 2021, 2022, the builder called all the shots. There were no incentives. You had to do it their way and that was it, and there was no negotiating. Coming into 2023, it's a little bit slower. They have more inventory that they want to get rid of. So it's definitely easy right now to negotiate with the builder and get incentives. And they are offering different things, from closing cost credit, a free basement being finished for you. They've got fixed interest rates for a certain amount of time. I even saw one builder that had 30-year fixed interest rates at over 1% lower than what the market is doing right now. So builders offer incentives. Again, you got to do your due diligence. You've got to call the builders, get all their information, do some data collection, but reach out to your real estate agent and have them do all that work for you. When it comes to getting a home loan to build a house, usually you don't need to do a construction loan, because you're going with a builder that builds hundreds of homes every year and they carry the loan until closing. But if you're doing like a custom home, you're probably going to need to get a construction loan, but that's for a different video, different conversation. So if you're just going to a home builder and saying, I want to buy one of your houses, then they will usually require you to get pre-approved with their lender. It doesn't mean that you have to use their lender, but 9 times out of 10, you do at least need to get pre-qualified and then compare. It's always a good idea to compare several lenders when you're looking to buy a house. Just don't go to the first one. And then you can compare their fees, you can compare their rates, their monthly payment. And a lot of times they'll have incentives if you go with their lenders, such as maybe a credit at the design center, closing cost credit. But just be careful, because usually where you see these credits, they usually have added them into some fees or somewhere else along the way in your purchase. So usually it's not really free. So that's where it helps to compare their lender to your lender and maybe a third lender, and just see which one's best for you. Once you've found the home that you like, usually the builder has their own contract that they want you to use, and they also tell you what the earnest money will be. So usually with their contract, you want to have your real estate agent review the contract, make sure there's nothing in there that you want to counter out. A common thing that I look for is there a per diem charge, is what it's called. So let's say that the buyer, if you're closing late on the house, the builder will charge you $100 or $200 per day that you're late. So that's really important to look at to see if you have that in the contract. Usually also in their contract, it'll say that the builder can make reasonable changes to the house without letting you know. You want to make sure you're always checking in on that house if you sign a contract that says that, because they can change things. If there's a supply issue or if things are running late, they can change it. Another thing to look for in the contract is your due diligence dates and your loan dates, your loan deadline. A lot of times with new construction, you don't have a due diligence period, or it's very quick, like maybe a couple days. Your earnest money that they tell you what amount to pay becomes non-refundable really fast. A lot of times there's not even a loan deadline to get out if your loan is not approved. So read the contract very carefully. There's a lot of legal verbiage, So it's super, super important that you have a real estate agent that is reviewing your contract and reading over every sentence to make sure that you're protected the way that you should be when you're buying a new build. Another thing to expect when buying a new house is that you have your earnest money, and then you also have additional money possibly due when you go to the design center. When you go to the design center, you have all these beautiful finishes to choose from and all these upgrade options. So if you choose some upgrade options, which I highly recommend doing double sinks in a master bathroom. If you do any upgrade options, then they will charge you a certain percentage of that to be due at that time or at a certain date in the contract. It's usually 25% of the upgrades or something like that. So read that in the contract to see what money is due after you go to the design center. Be sure to check in on the home frequently while it's being built. I did have a client one time that she went in to check on the house and they were doing the wrong flooring, and they had 3/4 of the floor done on the main level. So they had to tear it all out and replace it with the right flooring, of course, at their expense. So super important to frequently walk through that house and just check on the finishes, make sure there's nothing that looks kind of shady going on. Usually there isn't, but just take that extra precaution to be sure. Another thing to realize when you're building a home is that contractors run late. They don't show up. They have a hard time finding people. Sometimes they have a hard time finding supplies. There's weather issues, especially being in Utah during the winter time. So expect delays throughout the process. If they tell you your house will be ready in March, maybe it'll be ready in May, or maybe you'll be surprised and it's done on time. But just have some flexibility and know that most times home builders, they run late when it comes to finishing a house. Also, while they are building the house, there will be a 4-way inspection where someone from the city comes out and they're checking things like electrical, plumbing, making sure that everything looks okay. And this is before any drywall goes up. So make sure you go to that inspection with your real estate agent, and you can take notes if you need to, but it's usually a simple walkthrough. They say pass or fail, or maybe you need to fix a couple things, but that's a really good time to be with a city inspector if you have any questions about code items on the house or if something doesn't look right to you. He'll be able to let you know whether it's not, it's okay. You think that you can trust the builder and trust the guys building the house and trust the city inspector that the house is going to be pretty much in perfect shape, but unfortunately that is never ever the case. You should always have a home inspector come out, a third-party home inspector, someone that is not working for the builder, and pay them. It's usually $300 to $500 depending on the size of the house, but have them come out and walk through the house with you. I have never been to a home inspection where they didn't find at least a couple things that need to be fixed on a brand new house. So invest the money. It's definitely worth it. It's going to pay off. It'll, if anything, give you just reassurance that everything was done properly. Have a home inspection done. If you need a referral for a home inspector, you don't know who to use, comment below or get my contact information from the description and just reach out to me, and I can give you a handful of inspectors here in the Salt Lake Valley or Utah County, also up to Davis County, and I can give you some referrals on who to use. When it comes to what's included and not included when you buy a house, obviously we all know that when you go through a model home, those finishes are 90% probably not included. So when you meet with the builder, you want to have a list of what's included and what's not included when it comes to finishes and upgrades. Another thing to consider is that blinds for your house. I've never seen a builder include blinds for a house. So if you want to have any window coverings for your house, you're going to have to order those. Usually when you move into a house, you don't have anything up as far as window coverings. You can get like some paper temporary window coverings if you want to use those, and those are super easy and quick to install. It's just adhesive while you're waiting for your blinds to come in. So while you're under contract, it's a good idea to have whoever you're going to have do your window coverings, have them come out and measure. You can do something like these I have behind me, just the 2-inch wood or faux wood blinds. You can also do shutters. I have a contact for a guy that does shutters for my buyers on their homes, and if you want his contact information, just comment below or get a hold of me. My information's in the description and I can send you his number. But you can have that done while you're under contract so that hopefully your window coverings arrive just within a few weeks, usually is what happens. If you move in, and you can usually have your blinds within the next 2 to 4 weeks if you get them ordered ahead of time. Another thing to ask about when it comes to what's excluded is the yard. Usually landscaping is not included. Sprinklers are not included. If any landscaping is included, it's usually just the front yard, and it's very basic, mulch, grass, maybe a little bush here and there. And sometimes they do sprinklers. Usually if they're doing landscaping in the front yard, they're going to have its sprinklers included. But you want to clarify because all builders are different. Usually nothing is done in the backyard, and that's all on you to have that done. Sometimes you can have the builder do the backyard, but I haven't found a builder that would do that. So usually you need to have your own landscaper come out and do the backyard and install your sprinklers also. And that's the same for fencing. Usually there's no fence included. If you're building a townhome, usually you have like the sides included, but not like the back wall. But typically you can just add that yourself. Make sure you check with the HOA if it's a multifamily home, because sometimes they don't want a back fence right there. I have seen several HOAs that will not allow you to finish off that back fence. So if you have a pet, that's really important to know. Also, when it comes to landscaping, sometimes the city requires you to have the backyard done within 6 months to 1 year. And sometimes they also require a deposit being put down. So usually it's somewhere around $2,500 that you give to the city, or you have to pay at closing to somebody, and they hold your money. And then once your backyard landscaping is done, then they give you that money back. So make sure you ask questions about this, because that usually is not information that is freely given out. You will have to ask about that before you're told, unfortunately. But if you're working with a real estate agent that has done a lot of new builds, they know all the questions to ask so that you are fully protected and you have all the information that you need to know. If you are looking to build a house, please comment below or get a hold of me. I'm happy to help you along the process. There's a lot to know, there's a lot to think about, there's a lot to ask. So I'm happy to answer all those questions for you and represent you when it comes to buying a house, because you don't want to go directly to the builder without a real estate agent, because they work for the seller, they work for the builder. That's who they have their best interest in. They don't have your back as much as they have the builder's back. So always go in with your own representation when you're building a house. When you go to look at a model house for the first time, you have to have your real estate agent with you. If there's some crazy circumstance where your real estate agent can't be with you, have your real estate agent call the office and say, hey, I've got a buyer coming in, this is their name, I'm representing them, I'm out of town or I'm sick, I can't be there. And that is usually 9 times out of 10, the builder will be okay with that and they will let you still represent them. Had it happen several times where my buyers went into an office without me, and one time I was kicked out of the deal and they said, you can't represent them because you didn't walk in the office with them the first time they came. If you find this video was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe so you're notified every time I put out a new video. If you have any questions that I didn't answer about the building process, comment below. I respond to all the comments, or text me, call me. All my information is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.